why were you so forthcoming in the documentary? A lot of the stuff, you and I had talked about, and I was like, when I found out the documentary was coming out, I was thinking to myself, how forthcoming is Michael going to be? Is he going to be as forthcoming as he's when me and him talking, or is he going to put that on front of the camera?
And I'm gonna be straight because you're my boy to the heart, man. You're my boy to the heart. And even when you call me first and talk about all the things you said, Mike, I want you to do this with me. I was like, whoosh, damn, Shannon. I don't know. Man, I'm scared because, listen, you guys, you're talking, and I love watching your show, your nightcap stuff. You guys be talking about some stuff. And this is what I was afraid of.
Right.
And I said, okay, listen, here's the problem now. I got some real dead bodies out here.
Yeah.
And I don't need nobody coming up out the grave talking about me.
Undertaker.
I don't need all these grave sites raising back up. When I say, I was over here with this. And I don't need them girls coming up to me. Yeah, I saw that check when he was young. No, sit your old butt down. It's too late now. But that's the kind of thing. So I was worried about that. But the reality is, man, if you don't share, people will receive it and put their thing on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not get it in the way that you got it. Like we were talking about, a lot of the things we did, White House, all that stuff, that's those you can think about the other side of it, the women and all of that stuff. But it was also team building and team bonding, and that's what we did, So talking about it and getting the stories out the correct way, it's palatable now. It's palatable now.
Yeah.
It wasn't palatable back then. No. They won't take it now. But these kids, they got Love Island. Everybody doing everything with everybody. Hey, that ain't nothing I did. So we good.
At the time, you was like, man, you know what? I think this would be a good idea. Let's get a spot right across from practice.
It like anything else, it grew to that.
Yeah.
It grew to that. We had
because you were thinking about the money you spent in the hotel.
Right. The White House was the end game. This thing grew. It started out, hotels. Then we had an apartment, and then we went to the house. You know what I mean? So at each spot there were issues. Like, what happened at the hotel, the hotel.
A noise ordinance, and the people came. And
and they set me up at the hotel. I'm so dumb. I got the girls get in the room. They got the room under their name. I'm thinking I'm being slick. But I won't put down my benzos. And they got Playmaker written all on them. I'm still driving, parking them all. What good is doing that if I'm going to pull up in here in the Benz with Playmaker flash, Playmaker. So it's just because you're stupid. Right. You don't know.
Right.
So it went from the hotel. Man, how much money we spending on the hotel?
Right.
Let's just get an apartment. And then we got an apartment, and I had an apartment, and then, you bring a few girls over to the apartment, and then things ain't going right with all the girls, and they over there making all these noises and screaming, what's going on? They kicking in the window. I said,
Lord.
Maybe we shouldn't be in an apartment building. So then we finally got a house to try to move that thing. Well, Jerry finally found out. Leon Lett called me.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll never forget it. And New Jack City hadn't been out too long. I had just seen New Jack City. And Cat called me. He said, Michael, I'll never forget. I was headed to the campus. He said, Michael, we've been infiltrated. He said, man, I'm telling you right now, shut down the White House. Huh? I said, Negro, this ain't no movie. Hey, ain't shut down the Carter. I ain't shut down the Carter. Cat, I'm telling you, Mike, I'm telling you. And about 2 weeks later, I'm in meetings, and Jerry called me, and it's Wednesday, this install. I want to be in here. Like, wait a minute, dude. We're going over the plays. And they peek in the door, Jerry. I said, no, I'll tell them in a minute. We'll install. I got to make sure they put it in the right place. Right now. He said, no, I want to see you right now. I said, we can't wait. He said, right. I said, cut. So I go. And he asked me he said, Michael, there's a story breaking about some house y'all got over here somewhere, a White House. I said, oh, shit. I thought about that. I said I should have shut down the car.
You should have shut it down.
Shut it
You
down.
should have shut it down.
Hey, man, and he asked me about it.
Who do you know who dimed it out?
Yes, I do. I know. Well, a few people dimed it out, but yeah, we know they got it out. When he asked me though, I ain't had no answer. Jerry would tell a story. He said, I came in, I'm sitting there, and he said, just be honest with me. You know I'm gonna be with you. I'll fight for you as long as you're honest. And I thought about it, and I just told him, I said, boss, we were trying to do the wrong thing the right way. I said we were trying to do the wrong thing the right way. I thought through it, but it just, you know what I mean? And it was a good plan because at first, here again, we're gonna park at the complex and bring over one car. Right. So all the cars, we won't have all these cars.
A whole bunch of cars.
You know, now I already had it at the hotel. We got all our cars identified. So we'll park at the complex and come over here in one car. And then, as you get more and more loose with that and you're out drinking, you come to the club, pretty soon we had a whole parking lot out there. And that really gave us away. Them old people that were living next to us said we were making too much noise. That's what they were saying. So, but it was crazy times, man.
Do you remember the first time you were introduced to drugs?
It's funny. It's so funny. When I went through the thing here at the hotel, Jerry set up a meeting with the district attorney. His name was Mike Gillette. Mm-hmm. It's a private meeting. We met to talk about the case.
Right.
I said to him, Jerry said, man, listen, this is, let's just get this case out the way so we can get back on the field. I need you to set up, I need you to go talk with him and just be honest with him, be straight with him, and let's see if we can get this thing. Because right now it just seems like he's after you. I said, okay. Now you guys gotta understand. Now, that night in the hotel, when all of this went down, when the police came, they arrested the girl. I went home. Now, then they hired this new guy, Mike Gillette. They hired this new district attorney 3-4 months later. And he went back. Now we're into getting ready to work for the season. Right. He went back and looked at the case and opened it up.
Right, okay.
And opened up the case.
He reopened it.
He reopened all of it. Mm-hmm. He said, because I didn't have any standings. You got to have standings. That means the room was not in my name.
Right.
The room was in her name. They found the things with her. So they said, okay, we can just take her or let you go if she says it's hers. And she says they're mine. Mm-hmm. She's a good girl. And that hurts me too, Doobie. Listen, she really was a good girl. And what happened with her was just not right, because I really liked her. She was a good girl. She wasn't a dancer. I had met her at a club. Mm-hmm. But they put her out as a prostitute. It was just wrong. So I really, because before we went to the Super Bowl, I had.
Was this the first Super Bowl or second Super Bowl?
No, before we went to the second Super Bowl.
Okay.
This happened when we got back from the third Super Bowl.
Okay.
This happened when we got back from the third Super Bowl. Before we went to the Super Bowl, the third Super Bowl, you get all them tickets. You get tickets. So
they used to get boatload tickets. They used to get about 30 tickets back then, Mike.
Yeah.
They used to get about 30 tickets back then. They cut it down.
Yeah, they cut it way down. Because they know you get them 30 tickets, and them people out there waiting, they'll give you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a ticket. Boy, I had about 100 on me. and we were hanging around. I said, hey, listen, I pulled pill like a knot. I said, hey, go get an apartment. Because when I come back, I do not want to come back to these hotels.
Right.
Go get an apartment. And she was like, I don't want to take your money like that. I was like, no, you ain't taking my money. Go get an apartment.
Right.
We don't want to be in here.
Right.
And I come back, and then when I get back after, and I go see her, and I ask her. She came back. She gives me back the money. I said, what did you do? What are you doing? I don't want to be like that, So she was a real good girl. And then all of this goes down, So it made me feel extra bad. Yeah, it made me feel extra bad for her, man, because she didn't deserve it. But when I was dealing with Mike Gillette, and Jerry asked me to go meet with him, and she took it. She took it.
Right.
She took it so I can go home. And I always respect her for that. And she's just one of the good people.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because you know we like to do something before two something.